Hey guys, I'm doing this video because I've had a request from one of my subscribers to do a YouTube video of the Virgin Media 2 interface. First of all, I will try and show you the SuperHub itself with all the LEDs. Now hopefully you can see all the LEDs there, but I am using a webcam, so it's a bit tricky to see what I'm showing. Now the power light at the bottom will come on straight away when you turn it on. The next light, which is an up and down arrows, will is basically your upstream and downstream. The next light, which is the tick light, shows that you're connected to the network. The next one above and the one after is your wireless light, which is the 2.4 and the 5 gigahertz wireless lights. Now when it's booting up, it's a little slow. First you'll get the power light, then you will get the up and down arrow and the tick light, but then the modem will stop and it will take a little longer for the 2.4 and the 5 gigahertz lights to come on. Because I think the modem does reboot again, especially if you're on the 100 meg like myself. I think it's something to do with that, but I'm sure Virgin will release a newer version of their software soon to make the boot up process a little faster. Right, bear with me while I just move the camera back. Right, now here's like the interface of the SuperHub. The IP address is still the same, 192.168.0.1. Here you've got like the login page. You haven't got to enter a username anymore like you did with the SuperHub 1. All you do is enter a password. Now at default it's set to change me, and then you obviously change it yourself when you're connected to your SuperHub page. Now before I log in, I will show you this up here, which is the router status. You've just got general information, what model the SuperHub is. Then you go into information and it just gives you like the serial number and the boot code and software version and hardware version. The next one down is your status, so you can see that the channels are locked and what your upstream and downstream is. Which one was I under? Next one is your downstream, where obviously it's just all your information about the downstream, and you can reset the counters if you want to. Next one is your upstream information. There you go. Next one is your upstream burst. Next one is your operation configuration, so you can just basically see everything, all your traffic rate and all the important stuff really. And then the last one down is your network log, so you can see if the SuperHub is timed out at any stage. And that's that for the wireless status. Now if I log into the SuperHub, all your regular tabs like you did with the SuperHub 1. If I go into the wireless network settings first, excuse me, you've got the 2.4 band and the 5 gigahertz band, because you can now use both of them at the same time, where with the SuperHub 1 you could only use one at a time. Now the next bit down is your security settings. I highly recommend for both of them use WPA2 because that's the highest security you can have. Then the next one is obviously your network name, so you can choose your own broadcast name for the wireless, but if you do decide you want to leave it at default, you can, because it will already have a name inside of it, which is set by Virgin. Here you enter like a password for the SuperHub wireless to log in, or you can leave it at default. I've just changed it to this for now while I do the video, and then I can change it back to what I previously had it on. Here for the 2.4 is all your channels, and you've got anywhere from auto down to channel 13. I find channel 11 is the best channel to have it on, but the best channels are either 1, 6 or 11. Now for this one here, for the 5 gigahertz, you've got auto compatibility, auto performance, and then you've got all these numbers here which you can use, but I find the best thing to do is have it on auto performance to get the best performance out of the 5 gigahertz wireless frequency. Okay, that's the wireless tab. The next one is the SuperHub settings. You can go in here and change your login password for the SuperHub. This one here is to get remote access to the hub. Here again is modem mode, so if you want to just use the SuperHub 2 as a modem and use your own router, this is where you come to turn it on. And if you notice as well, when you do that, the IP address does change to log into the hub, but that's easy to remember. The next feature I really do like, compared to the SuperHub 1, this part will change how bright the LEDs are on the front of the SuperHub. On the old one, a lot of people were unhappy how bright the lights were, because they were very, very bright. Now, because a lot of people complained about it, they brought out this new feature where you can now adjust how bright you want the lights. I mean, I have it on low and they're still they're not that bright. Obviously you did see it a few moments ago, and that's on the low setting. Now here is obviously the software version and the hardware version of your SuperHub, and then the next bit down is to restore the SuperHub back to factory default when it first came into your property. Okay, the next one is the device configuration status. This will just tell you basically how long your SuperHub has been online, what you've downloaded and what you've uploaded, and you can reset this by clicking on this here. or you can just leave it as it is and it will automatically reset when you next power off the SuperHub. The next bit down will tell you what devices you've got connected at the time. I've only got my main computer connected now. If I add any wireless devices, it would show there. So that's that for the easy interface. Now if I go into the advanced settings, this does give you a lot more features to adjust. If I now go into the wireless radio part, it's a little slow today logging in. Now I highly recommend for the 2.4 gigahertz to have it on 144, no higher, because what I find is if you have it on 300, you start getting wireless connectivity problems. So I always highly recommend having it on 144 megabits a second. Greenfield mode, I do recommend leaving this off because this can cause wireless issues again. For the next one down, you've got the 5 gigahertz. This I was playing around with yesterday, and I have got some wireless 5 gigahertz devices. So I put it on 450 Mbps, and the speeds were really quick when browsing like the internet on my phone. And yet again, do leave the Greenfield mode off. You can turn it on to try it out if you want to, and then just turn it back off if you find it causes you problems. Okay, that's for the wireless radio part. Now the 2.4 primary wireless, you come into here. This part is what you set up on the first wireless settings page. Here you can create your own network name, or leave it at default. The security mode, like I mentioned, do have it on WPA2, and here is your passphrase settings, so you can like make your own password for the hub. Right, the next bit is the wireless MAC filtering, where so you just leave it as what it's on, and then obviously this is to add a device if it's not adding onto your network when you try to connect it. The next one down is the first guest network. Now I have this on because the main wireless network I use for myself, and then the family connects to the guest network. Now if you do that like I'm doing, don't worry about any speeds. They still get the same upload speeds and download speeds as you. It's just so that you can keep an eye on who's connected to your SuperHub throughout the day, if that's what you're interested in doing. So yeah, still use WPA2 for that, unless obviously the devices you're connecting aren't connecting to the WPA2 security, and then if it isn't, you can just come back in and change it to either auto or WPA1 or WEP if available. And then obviously this is where you create a password for your wireless network, and then yet again to add a device if it's not connecting to the network. Okay, next one down is the second guest network, so same screen as before, just lets you create a second guest network. There you go. Right, next one is the 5 gigahertz primary network. Yet again, same interface, you know, with the security mode WPA2, passphrase, so for your password, and then obviously to add a device if it's not adding. Then obviously the next one is for a 5 gigahertz wireless. The 5 gigahertz frequency is more powerful than the 2.4, and a lot of new devices will support 5 gigahertz, like the new mobile phones. I've got a Samsung Galaxy S3 mobile and a Samsung Galaxy tablet, and both of them connect on the 5 gigahertz. So if the 5 gigahertz is available on your wireless devices, do use that, because you will get a better browsing speed and download speed through your wireless devices. There you go. Next one is obviously same screen again. It just lets you create a second 5 gigahertz wireless name. Next one down is the Wps Settings. Now this screen, I'm not too sure what some of this does, but basically I just leave this as default, because I think this is mainly what the engineers use when they come over to your property to sort out any network problems. Okay. Right, the next one down is the security tab, where you've got all your security settings. The firewall, this is all set at default, and I do leave it as default. Now, having the firewall on low is completely fine, unless you do get any kind of network problems, and you can turn it off. And as long as you've got some good security on your PC, you'll be fine having the settings on this, same as myself. Next one down is the IP filtering, where you can filter any network which is coming into your internet connection. Where was I? Right, the next one is the MAC filtering. So you can filter obviously your MAC address details, and this is obviously if you want to give a certain time of access to people on your network. Okay. Next one is port blocking, so you can block any network connection which is connected to your network and you don't recognize it. So you come into here to block it. Next one down is port forwarding. Now this is used for anyone who's got a wireless device and it's not connecting to your network. For instance, I think if you've got like a Samsung TV or any other TV make with a wireless adapter and it doesn't want to connect, you come into here to create a custom port. And same, I think people use this for the PlayStation 3, I believe. So I've never used this, but if you do need help with this screen, Virgin Media support will talk you through it, hopefully. Right, the next one down is port triggering. So same kind of information. Next one is the DMZ. Just leave it all as default. Next one down is the device status, so it just gives you all the information about your SuperHub and like your IP address and everything. But the IP addresses can change regular. It never remains the same. Next one down is your network status, so you can see that your modem's locked to the network. And there's all like your downstream channels. Now even though you may see that it's they're showing minus, that's completely fine, nothing to worry about there. And there's your upstream channels as well. Okay. Next one down is the user interface management. This part you can change the password of your SuperHub. Obviously you can do that anyway from the main screen, which I showed you earlier. And here you can like reset the advanced user interface and also set the user interface timeout. So if you're configuring the SuperHub and you leave it for a certain amount of time, you'll get a message come up on the screen asking you if you want to remain logged into the SuperHub. Next one down is a useful feature for anybody who has set up the SuperHub and basically want to keep the settings backed up. Basically this is used for if you need to reset your SuperHub back to factory default for any reason, and then you've got to put all your settings back in. Instead of doing it all manually, you can come into here once you've set it up, go on to backup and back up all your settings, and then if you do factory reset your device, you just come back into here, click browse to the file which is saved onto your computer, and it will restore all your settings you've made onto the SuperHub. So it is a useful feature. The next one down is to basically just reboot your device instead of obviously turning it off on the back. The next one down is to restore it back to factory default. Next one down is your network log, so you can just basically see you know, what's coming in, what's going out, and you can clear it and refresh the log. And at the top you can basically sign up for emails about this information, if that's something you're interested about. Next one is your firewall log, just showing all your firewall settings from the SuperHub. Next one down is your Hcp settings, and basically it just gives you your IP address, your subject mask, and your DHCP information. Next one is the DHCP reservation. Just gives you general reservation information. Next one is the Upnp. Now this is used for console gaming or any other like wireless devices, and it is on by default, so you don't have to worry about coming into here to check it. Next one is the ping information. So what this will do is you can ping your IP addresses to make sure everything's working okay from your devices. Next one is your trace route, so you can trace any IPs, addresses. And the last one on this is the Mtu Settings. The Mtu is set at 1500 by default. Do leave it at that unless you actually get any problems, and then obviously you just alter it. Okay, and I think I've covered the whole SuperHub pages. Okay, so I hope this video has helped you out. If you need any help or anything, please leave a video, and I will leave a comment, sorry, below the video, or send me an inbox message and I will help you out. Thank you for watching.